Up until the 1980s, arcades were the main way you could play video games, especially the sophisticated games with high-end graphics and sound. You really could not play anything at home that would match the quality of the machines or the diversity of the types of games at the arcade. The home computer was on the rise, but quality of games crashed as the hype to get games sold was greater than the quality control. Video games almost died, destroying the industry. It took home consoles years to recover from the crash, but Nintendo filled in the void with its Nintendo Entertainment System, reviving interest in the consoles with new and exciting titles. Fast forward to the Nintendo Game Boy, and you could take these games with you. Today, we get to look at something special by RetroFlag that changes the game even further. This is the G-Pi case on the RetroFix. Hi guys, welcome back to the RetroFix. Today we're going to be looking at a really awesome option for somebody who wants to play retro games with a retro feel, but not have to build one or customize a whole bunch of things to get up and running. This is the case that you'll be using for a Raspberry Pi. This case is meant to be reminiscent of an original Game Boy. Inside the box you'll find the G-Pi case, the power adapter, the screwdriver with 4 screws, and an instruction manual. This case will run you about $69.99. I was lucky enough to find mine on Black Friday for about half that, but that'll include everything that you see here, besides the Raspberry Pi and the SD card. Taking a look at the device, it's almost identical to a Game Boy. Here it is in comparison. It has the 2 extra Y and X buttons. You have the volume and SD card slot on the right, L and R buttons on the back. On the left side, you have your brightness control and your power. On the bottom, you'll find a headphone jack. You can see as far as size goes that it's a little bit smaller than the Game Boy, but it feels almost identical. You'll need a SD card as seen in the instructions, the included screwdriver, the conversion board, and the case to put the Raspberry Pi Zero or 0W in. You can see by looking at the instructions that you'll need to connect a cable from the Raspberry Pi to the conversion board. You do have a power cable, but it does take 3 AA batteries, which I would recommend using rechargeables. Here is the housing for the Raspberry Pi. Awesome design, makes it look like a Game Boy cartridge, but you can see that it's a little bit bigger. Here's the slot for the SD card when the Raspberry Pi is installed. There are your 4 screws, and here is my Raspberry Pi 0W. I went with the W, which is the wireless version, which enables you to wirelessly download your ROMs, do updates, connect Bluetooth, and it's only $5 more. I think you can get the 0W for about $15. Here is the conversion board. You'll line up the pins with your 0, just like this, and it should connect to that USB port. Really simple installation. Lay it flat like this in the bottom tray, and you can put your pieces back together. 4 screws later and you're ready to go. I'll leave a link in the description for instructions on getting your software up and running. Depending on what you want to do with this and how you want it to look, there's so many customization options. I would recommend looking at ETA Prime's installation guide and software setup to look up exactly how to get this thing working. There's a little bit of setup involved, including a safe shutdown script and a patch. First time booting up after you got it all installed does take a while. I did speed this up a little bit just to get into the video of how this actually runs. Here is a regular Game Boy. After using this for a couple of weeks, I was really impressed with the smoothness of this device. As you may have seen before, I'll leave a link in the description for my other video, I built a Minty Pi, and this one just runs smoother than that even though it is the same Raspberry Pi Zero W. Here's another original Game Boy game, Classic Tetris. It's hard to video the screen, so I did my best here to try to show you just how smooth it could be. Here's a Game Boy Advance game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, running absolutely flawless and smooth. In everything that it's running, there is no screen tearing and no jittering. I found the same to be true with SNES games as well. Game Boy Color game, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, works great as well. No issues with this one. I didn't notice any lag when it came to input. The buttons are crisp, clean, and it feels just like you're playing an OEM device. I was really impressed with the quality of this. Retroflag really knocked it out of the park with this one. This is my first device that I've gotten from Retroflag, and I gotta say, I'm very excited about this. After installing the safe shutdown script, all you have to do is turn the switch off and it will shut down your Pi safely. So, in summation, this is a great device to take with you to play those retro games that you've always loved in a new and exciting way. Check out the links below to find out where you can purchase one. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, you can find me on Instagram at TheRetroFix. We'll see you next time.